Welcome to my first ever video race report. This is the Hyattsville Cyclocross Category 4-5 race from October 4th, 2015. Unless you're an elite racer, time of registration is one of the big keys to success. I signed up on time and found myself in good position right here on the second row. The start was as fast and furious as usual. I should have staged a little bit further to the left to ensure that I could have stayed on the pavement without turning, but otherwise I felt I got a decent start. As we head into the first series of turns, I got bumped from the left by the guy with the orange handlebars, but I was able to swing up the hill and no harm done. Heading back down around the trees, the same guy who bumped me hit a root on the second tree, and down he goes. Again, you need to register early to stay in front of this sort of mayhem. After a week of rain and with a hurricane headed our way, I was pretty sure the race was going to be canceled. But somehow the hurricane stayed out to sea and the city okayed the race, so yeehaw. The 4-5 race was the first of the day, and the course was still pretty clean our first time around the loop. Jumping over to the baseball field backstretch, I was feeling relaxed on the first lap and decided to make up some positions. I worked my way up to 6th at this point in the race, and that was about as good as my day was going to get. Skipping ahead to the woods section, which is typically the toughest on this course, I downshifted and, worst case scenario, dropped my chain. Fortunately, the trail was narrow and I was able to run through the woods and keep up with the pack. I'm sure the folks behind me were less than thrilled with this move. Out of the woods, we hit a few more turns and then entered a section that proved to be my undoing. This mud bog got worse and worse with each lap. In fact, after our third lap, the officials shortened the race by a lap because our pace fell so much. It was tough not to get bogged down in this mud, and during later races, most riders chose to run the section. Moving on to the final lap, the conditions are already very different. As a heavier racer on skinny tires, I put in way too much effort on these mud sections and got past a little bit too much too. I usually love this course because it's fast and flat, but today it was anything but. By this point, I was ready to be done grinding through the slop. I passed one final rider with barrier technique, and then pushed on to the finish. I was hoping to crack the top 10 on the day, but given the conditions, 18th out of 112 had to do.